Hello, greetings and welcome. So as you're moving through the initiation process, you're building a journal, and your journal, you write down the exercise you're going to do, you practice the exercise, you write down the result of the exercise, you contemplate the result, and then you refine the method to get a better result. And as you cycle through this, you'll have peak experiences which you anchor into your mental body. These are the things you really have to remember. So we build what we call a mental library of experiences. And your intuition uses this mental library of experiences to reference data to you when you have an intuitive insight. And the nature of your mental library is the spectrum of data in which you can use inside your intuition to understand things. So your journaling process, your ability to tune your mind to your peak experiences, build a fabric in which your mind can raise in frequency by moving through these peaks up the vibrational scale. If you don't go through this process of building the mental library, your intuition can't efficiently communicate with you how to meditate, how to practice, how to develop yourself. Inside of this, we will start to recognize the emptiness underneath things as the control point for things. Under each peak experience is an accumulation of stillness. So when you meditate on an object, so there's a camera cover sitting there, if I meditate on the camera cover as a meditation object, it's got physical form. There's emptiness underneath that physical form which allows it to vibrate in an outer form. The nature of that empty space underneath the form is what we call an Akashic Blueprint, or an Akashic body. That is the stillness that makes your mind quiet when you observe that object. The Akashic Blueprint, the underlying stillness of that camera cover, is different to the underlying stillness of a person or that camera bag. It's a different Akashic blueprint. It's a different Akashic substance. So it will emanate a different type of stillness. To the average meditator, stillness is stillness. The stillness underneath all things is the same. But the Akashic blueprint underneath every object is a different Akashic blueprint. And as we experience it, we will get subtle differences in that emptiness. Now, if you want to wake up any form of clairvoyance that has a prophetic vision in it, prophetic vision comes through the Akashic substance of a stream. You have a stream of events moving forward in time, and this stream of events has a Akashic blueprint. When you pay attention to the Akashic blueprint, you know where the stream is going, beyond astral predictability. So with astral predictability, there's a sense of, oh yeah, that's where it goes astrally. It makes sense. It stays within a certain spectrum of potentiality. When you go into the Akasha, that spectrum of potentiality opens right up, and it's much more in resonance with fate. So this sensitivity to the stillness, which is a side effect of every meditation exercise, puts us in contact with the Akashic blueprint, or the Akashic matrix of things. So, stillness sensitivity. All types of stillness are different. Every meditation object will give you a different stillness. So we have a library of stillness. When you meditate on vital energy, and then you go to the empty space underneath that energy, that stillness is spread across the entire universe. The whole universe is seeking to create life. It's a very different type of stillness that you'll find underneath that camera cover. So when you are practicing, start making a library of different stillness qualities. And this is what increases your ability to understand Akasha. This is what builds your ability to understand how meditation works and get to know what the pearls of practice are. It's the accumulation of stillness under the mind. And remember, this accumulation is just a memory. You just have to remember it. You're building a library of experiences. And every time you've developed a new penetration of concentration into an object and felt the stillness that presents itself through the object, and you journal that and you put it into your mental library, you're increasing your ability to understand Akasha, the nature of the universal mind. And this is the journey. Build a library of stillness qualities that arise from different meditation objects. If you're meditating on a sacred object, a Buddha image, a mandala, and your mind becomes still while you're meditating on it, that stillness is the control point for entering into something sacred. It's a totally different type of stillness quality to what you get in mundane objects. And it's important to differentiate these within your mind. Because remember, if you want to go to the control point of something, to its center, you go through the stillness, Akashic fabric of that object. Now you're at the control point. Now if you want to equalize with a high frequency of light that different deities and Buddhas are emanating, you go to the Akashic substance underneath the deity, underneath the light. You pay attention to that. And then once you've equalized with the stillness underneath it, you let your mind rise into the light, into that deity. And then you can experience it on a very pure level, on a very deep, profound level, and you can integrate it and take ownership of it and put it in your mental library of experiences. Each one of these peaks of stillness generate a field of consciousness, and that field of consciousness allows you to go through Akashic jhanas. So when you're working through Akashic jhanas, there's a release of time and space, and you have infinite space across the universe. You have infinite consciousness across the universe. Then there's a type of vacuity of nothingness. And then there's the next layer of fabric of Akasha. And we have these layers of accumulated stillness in your mental library. Your ability to navigate through that reflects with different types of equanimity, and equanimity is the door to Nibbana. So really, we're not concerned so much about, I want to work on this frequency today, I want to work on that frequency. You're more concerned about, if I work on that frequency, what is the quality of stillness you can accumulate in your mental library? Because that mental library of stillness generates a range of conditions for equanimity which allow you to ascend. People become very preoccupied with the form aspect of the deities, with the form aspect of very sacred frequencies, rather than the underlying stillness that's the gift of those particular practices. So differentiate the two, the outer picture and then the inner stillness underneath. As you go through these, you'll generate a type of perception of equanimity and what types of stillness need to be accumulated in your mental library to achieve that magical equilibrium for ascension to take place. Your intuition already knows all this. You just need to get into equanimity to listen to your intuition. Okay, thank you for your time, and enjoy the path.